Sa mundo na walang katiyakan, wala akong... Where is the charger here? Walang charger, walang charger, walang charger. Ang layo ng charger. More, walang, there's no charging place here. Bakit ang dilim ng mundo? Bakit ang dilim ng mundo? Sa mundo na walang katiyakan. Wow, tita, mas putang. Yate kayo siya. Walang charger ang kinabuhi. Walang charger ako. Oy, Ma'am Ailina, may galaw shout out po. Good morning. Naghahanap ako ng charger. Wala akong charger. Ay, salamat sa paharang. Aking charger ay wala. Saan ko to? Saan ako magcha-charge? Ma'am Ailin, salamat sa patambay. Kumusta po? Maringsel! Maringsel Nerves! Maringsel, kumusta Maringsel? Saan ko man ito ilagay? Ay, wala akong charger ba? Patungan ko tubi. Wala akong ma-chargean. Wala akong ma-chargean pa. Walang ma-charge. Guards, hindi maklaro. Gala-gala ka, madam. Hindi. Andito kami sa, sa pizzeria, Mama Ailina. Maglilinis. O kaya, baka mamalingki pa. Are we? Mama Ailin, kumusta? Most Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. Happy Valentine's, Happy Valentong Maringsel. Ewan ko kung mag-aano kami o aalis. Hintay mo na ako kay Marigo. Huy. Grabe itong signal ko, patawarin, oh. Ha? Are you gonna put a Wi-Fi? Wow. Salamat sa mga dyan, pagkamsa. Sandali guys, ako'y nililinis ko yung kasi. Ay! Ma'am Cocky! Ma'am Cox! Salamat sa paharang. Miguel out shoutout, Ma'am Cox. Ma'am Ailin. Ayan, nabuhay si Nightbot guys. Na-miss ni Nightbot. Guys tingnan nyo, hindi nakapagtrabaho si Nightbot. Ma'am Cookie! Salamat Ma'am Cookie dyan sa paano. Kumusta ang 2022, Ma'am Cox? Kumusta mga ninyo year 2021? Iniwan nyo lahat? Iniwan nyo lahat sa 2021? Ayan pala, Pwede pala tumaano Aha? Oh, ha? Salamat dyan po. Salamat sa mga Nagaantay pa ako sa aking asawa guys kung aalis ba kami mamalingki or maglilinis na lang ng pizzeria. Ma'am Cox, Ma'am Cooks, live stream ka pa ulit? Pasensya na ha, Maring Sil, Ma'am Eileen. Ma'am Cooks, pasensya na, medyo hindi na masyado active sa sa YT. Busy lang ang life, busy kayo ang life. Maring Sil, kumusta ang WH mo? Magkalo-kalo, pagid ko naman ko diri. Uy, grabe yung signal na ako, pertik ako. Patay-patay, maninga, diri man mi sa sentro in town. Ilang guys, liliw na ako kung ba na kay nag-wild. I'm gonna do the dough. So I'm gonna clean then. It takes you an hour. I'm just gonna wash the tray for a while and clean up later. As you wish. What? As I wish. If I put it there, I'm going to put it here. I'm gonna get the charger. I'm gonna charge it. I'm standing my arms. Hesa! Hesa! May galaw shoutout. Na si Wakwak. Wala na ako nakita. Yate man akong signal, oy. Na ako makita ang message. Hoy, Wakwak! Wak, na ako irito sa imuha, Wak. Wak. Ikaw may single din na, Wak. Kasa naman si Wakwak, oy. Wakwak na ko irito si muha ba? Mangita sa kog tuslokon sa anak ko na akong cellphone, guys. Dahil mag-aano daw si Marigo, so how I'm gonna do this? How I'm gonna do it? Go see? Like this. Mag-aano daw si Marigo, magagawa ng dough, so dito na muna kami sa pizzeria. If I do this, are you going now? Do it now? Huh? Ayan, lights lang pala ang kailangan. Lamig? Do you want me to warm? Hindi ako maka-charge kasi ang phone ko walang stand. Let me see. Why it's not charging? Why I didn't put the laptop? Because I put somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue. Okay. Is it okay? Okay. I can't. Doesn't stand. Doesn't stay. What I'm going to do it pa? Doesn't stay. Wala po kasi akong stand. Like this. Look like this. Mama Eileen, salamat sa patambay. Tinatry ko po ipatayuin yung aking aking phone, pero ang hirap. Wala akong stand kasi nagcha-charge siya. Pag-iikot yung kasi ayaw na. Diyan ka. Ay na lang. Walang pag-asa. Ayaw magtayo nito. Pag ganyan ko, orientation is locked.
This is the first step toward getting rich. To think what you want to think is to think truth, regardless of appearances. Every man has a natural and inherent power to think what he wants to think, but it requires far more effort to do so when it does the thing with thoughts which are suggested by appearances. To think according to appearance is easy. To think truth, regardless of appearances, is laborious, and requires the expenditure more power than any other work man is called.
Haha, found the way.
There is no labor from which most people think as they do.
Guys, dyan lang muna kayo guys ha. Dyan lang muna kayo at ako'y maglalagay lang ng apron.
And truth is contrary to appearances. Every appearance in the visible world tends to produce a corresponding form in the mind, which observes it, and this can only be prevented by holding the thought of the truth. To look upon the appearance of disease will produce the form of disease in your own mind, and ultimately in your body. Unless you hold the thought of the truth, which is that there is no disease, it is only an appearance, and your reality
I
is
think
not.
it's better if I take
To look upon
my
the
laptop.
appearance of poverty is to produce corresponding forms in your own mind. Unless you hold to the truth that there is no poverty, there is only abundance. To think health as surrounded by the appearances of disease, or to think riches but in the midst of appearances of poverty, requires power. But he who acquires this power becomes a mastermind. He can conquer fate. He can have what he wants. This power can only be acquired by getting hold of the basic fact, which is behind all appearances. And that fact is that there is one thing, from which and by which all things are made. Then we must grasp the truth that every thought held in the substance becomes a form, and that man can so impress his thoughts upon it as to cause them to take form and become visible things. When we realize this, we lose all doubt and fear, for we know that we can create what we want to create, we can get what we want to have, and can become what we want to be. As a first step toward getting rich, you must believe the three fundamental statements given previous in this chapter, and in order to emphasize them, I repeat them here. There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which, in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. The thought, in this substance, produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. Man can form things in his thought, and
Mora,
by
can I
pressing
see your
his
phone?
thought upon form of substance, can cause the things to think about to be created. You must lay aside all other concepts of the universe than this monistic one,
Huh?
and you must dwell upon this until it is fixed in your mind, and has become your habitual thought. Read these three statements over and over again. Fix every word upon your memory, and meditate upon them until you firmly believe these things. Without chance to you, cast it aside as a thing.
If able to see.
Not listen to arguments against this
Bakod!
churches or
Uy!
the contrary concept of things, thought, or speech.
Aneng, na ako irito sa imo, Aneng! Batianin mo ko? Salamat sa patublok, Franz!
Do not ask why these things are true, nor speculate as to how they can be true. Simply
Oy, Jeme, dami galak ko kya na yahuhuy. Hindi kita malagyan ng damit. Ayan.
end of chapter 4.
Salamat, Jeme. Dami galak shout out po. Madam Kukiana from his channel. Nakatulugan ko ilis ni namin. Gikuan ako, guys. Salamat dyan sa patambay. Wakwak. Wakwak. Jimeda, salamat po sa patambay. Baba ka lang ng bahay mo po. Balikan ko po. And silipin ko pa mamaya ulit kasi hindi ako pwede ano kasi phone yung gamit ko. Baba lang po ng bahay, Jimeda. Ayan, ayan, ayan. Sige, connect lang kayo guys ha. Connect lang kayo guys. Salamat dyan. Pagka maglablaban lang kayo dyan. Salamat sa mga dalaw at tambay niyo po. Jemeda, bakit wala kang damit? Ayan, may damit ka na ulit. Anong ginawa ba ni Nightbot? Tinubaran ka ni Nightbot. Salamat sa patambay. Namaligo ko ano video lang ni. Salamat Wak. Salamat Wak. Jemeda, salamat po sa patambay. Hesa from Mang Cookie Harangga. Salamat Mang Cookie sa parang silip-silip lang. Salamat sa mga patambay ninyo guys. Salamat Jemeda, baba, iwan mo lang po bahay nyo po. Pwede kayo baba ng mga ayan. Madam Cookie, pa-help kami kay ate namin. Oh. Para sa kinabukasan, sa ekonomiya ng Italia, Ma'am Cox. Ma'am Cox. Sige, sige, wak, birahi, birahi.
The rest of us are private life is no such a smart today, but they have limited access and records before. With this security, the confidential claims will never come
Oo, ha, I forgot. Nainihiyo kaya yan mga day. Ma'am Cox, di ko mabasa lahat ng kalitaman. Oy, salamat sa mga patambay.
Know that there are countless millions of dollars worth of gold in the mountains of the earth, not yet brought to light. And know that if there were not, more would be created from thinking substance to supply your needs. Know that the money you need will come.
Ako'y BJ kay...
It is necessary for a
Unsa to?
to be led to the
Nakita ko naka-live ka. Oh, Ma'am Cox. Salamat, Ma'am Cox. Pasensya, Ma'am Cox, ha? Hindi kami makaano masyado sa mga live mo. Busy ang kinabuhi sa mga marites. Nangabuhi in tawon, Ma'am Cox. Para sa ekonomiya sa 2022. Yes.
Did you do your daily oral prayer?
Welcome dahil salam sa RC pala dumaan sa live ko, please. Thank you po. Okay. Sige, Ma'am Cox. Pag makadaan si RC, sabihin po namin. Sabi, don't worry po.
That cannot possibly happen. You are not taking anything that is possessed by anybody else. You are causing what you want to be created from formless substance and supplying it without limit. Stay to the formulated statement. There is a certain step from which all things
Keep it sipag gwapa. Oh, salamat, Ma'am Cox. Na, anong mga marites, oh? Mga marites.
produces the thing that is imaged by the
May galang shoutout as we're from Kukiana. Hoy, Maring! Walay hagdan. Ayaw pag itag hagdan, ha? Walay hagdan. Nana mga marites. Good morning, mga marites. Manglimpyo sa ako, guys. Kay para na ako isweldo, guys. Magtrabaho sa ako, ha? Salamat yan sa inyo.
I do not mean that you do not have to drive any bargains at all, for that you are about to necessity not having any deal with the I mean that you don't want to deal with the You do not have to get something for nothing, but think it to everyone more than
Good morning to you. I don't understand what you write, but it's okay.
Come shirt. Ha, amore. Amore. You are there, amore now. Agoy, gabuk man de hagdan. Mareng, paminaw, pagbuntag, walay hagdan, kay disturbo mo sa akong kaligayahan. More, you are there, amore now as well.
Love is the key. Love wins on everything.
Oy, agoy, pagdaro na anwer, sige lang whitey. Oh, sige nag whitey, bisag positive na ba? Sige whitey.
Put love in everything that you do, and you will be successful.
Nabuwag si Marigo, guys. Pasensyahan nyo na yan. Maayo kay nag-ilis ka, Marig. Kali.
Let me put some love in you.
Oh, it is too dirty. Si Simple katulog na sige lang nag-white. Lagi. Oy, pangatulog na mo. Oy, Maring, patulog na diha. Di ka katulog ka ron. Jemeda, salamat po sa patambay. Baba ka po bahay mo dyan, oh. Maraming marites dyan. Hello, Marites.
Marites,
Hello, Marites. Agoy.
the girl from Montemaro.
No, tell them. They are Marites. They're gossipers. They call them Marites.
Marites.
Hello, mga Marites.
Hello, Marites.
Oy, shout out daw mga Marites, galing kay Amore. Leave it there, huh? Don't get upset. Hoy, aning paligo na dito. Maluoy ka sa imong lawas. Masunog yun na ron imong pizza. Walay pizza pa maring. Nagalimpyo pa mi sa pizzeria. Nagahimo og dough. Karong gabi pa masunog ang pizza. Karon pa may magluto og pizza, nagalimpyo pa mig pizzeria. Karon pa man may mag-open alas 5 sa hapon. Gossiper! Yes, mga gossiper, mga marises. Lucifer, gossiper. Hoy, mga gossiper, pangaligo mo, pangaligo. Ligo. Tambay lang ni Maring. Uy, salamat Maring sa patambay Maring ha. Good night diha. Uy, pangatulog na. Dahil hesa na naayo na ka. Permi mo na naisakit Maring. Pagkaon lang na ang makakuan sa iya ha. Makapaayo.
So, after finishing the natural work, He decided that he might reasonably ask for a ride on the floor of the best room, with an emphasized also to leave the house room before winter. Following the instructions given in his book, he obtained these things in a few months, and let it dawn upon him that he had not asked enough. He ran through the house and into it, and planned all the improvements he would like to make on it. He mentally ordered the bedroom to here, a room there, until it was complete in his mind as his ideal home, and then to plan his furnishings. Holding the whole picture in his mind, he began living with a sort of way, and moving toward what he wanted.
Non vado a cash and carry.
And into the building it after the
Non vado a fare la spesa.
perché
Basta quello che ho. Sì, amore, I'm sure. Where's the pen? There he is. 19.
becomes necessary to relate yourself to the form of intelligence in a normal way. Security from the inspiration is a lecture of such primary and personal importance that I shall give some space to this discussion here, and to the instructions which, if you will follow them, will be certain to bring you into perfect unity of mind and thought. All process of mental adjustment and affirmation can be summed up in one word: gratitude. First, we believe that there is one certain substance from which all things proceed. Second, we believe that this substance gives you everything you desire. Third, you will let yourself there by a feeling of deep and profound gratitude. And people who order their lives rightly in all other ways are kept in poverty by their lack of gratitude. Having received one gift from God, we cut the wires which connect them with Him by failing to make it love. It is easy to understand that the nearer we live to the source of wealth, the more wealth we shall receive. It is easy also to understand
More,
that the soul is always grateful as it goes attached
Oh, l'ho tirato fuori, basta.
Ah, okay.
The more gratefully we fix our minds on the supreme when good things come to us, the more good things we will receive,
don't want to take
and the more rapidly they will come. And the reason is that the mental attitude of gratitude grows the mind and grows our thoughts.
You do like this
Ah, okay.
and you follow, no?
Beta.
The gratitude brings your whole mind into closer harmony with the creative energies of the universe. Consider it all, and you will see that it is true. The good things you already have
Vado.
continue along the line of obedience to certain laws. Gratitude will lead your mind out along the ways by which things come. And this will keep you in
Tingnan nyo
close
guys, oh, ang
harmony with
bigat-bigat
creative
niyan ba?
thought and prevent you from
Yan na yung
falling into
dough na
competitive
gagawin
thought.
nila.
Gratitude alone can keep you looking toward the old and prevent you from falling into the error of thinking of the supply as limited.
Guys, ang
And to do
bigat
that,
niyan ba?
you'd be
Parang,
faithful
how
to
many
your
kilo,
roots.
amore?
There is a law of gratitude, and it is absolutely necessary that you
Amore,
should
it's
observe
off
the law
a bit
if you are to
your
get the results you seek.
thing.
The law of gratitude is a
Your
natural
thing.
principle that action and reaction
Switch
are
up a bit
always
your
equal,
thing,
but in
lower.
opposite
Which thing?
directions.
The
To
girl
work without
talking.
reaching of your mind in thankful praise to the
It's
Supreme
my
is a liberation or expenditure
motivation.
of force. It cannot fail to reach
Motivation.
that to which it addressed, and the reaction is
Everybody
instant and
Sige,
Raise
hilain mo pa.
nigh unto
Ayan.
Everybody
you, and he
should
will
read
draw nigh unto you.
the signs of
Lamot.
getting rich.
Wala guys, ang bigat-bigat nito guys ba?
And if your gratitude is strong and constant, the reaction in formless
Uh,
substance will
how
be
many kilo?
strong and
10.
continuous. The movement of the things you want
10
will be
kilo.
always toward
Anche
you.
10 kilos.
Notice
50
the grateful
kilos.
attitude that
Anche
Jesus took.
50.
How he always seems to be saying, I thank thee, Father, that thou hearest me. You can't
Oh.
exercise much power without gratitude, but it's gratitude
Aneng.
that keeps you connected with
Neng,
power.
lami kumut-kumut to na ba oh?
Gratitude does not consist solely in getting you more blessings in future. Without gratitude, you cannot long keep from dissatisfied thought regarding things as they are. The moment you permit your mind to dwell
can I
with
do
this?
dissatisfaction from things as they are, you begin to
Mare.
lose ground. You fix
How can
attention
I
on
do
the
this?
common, the ordinary, the poor, and the squalid and mean, and your mind takes the form
Kaya
of
pala
success.
pumayat si Amore mo, madam. Yes. That's why you lose weight, they said, Amore.
And the common, the poor, the squalid, the mean will come to you. To permit your
Amore,
mind
can I
to
have a
become
tray?
inferior, to become inferior,
Ah,
and to
contenitores. I
surround
put it in the
yourself with inferior
contenitore.
things. On the other hand, fix your attention on the best.
La guys, ikaw tingnan mo, grabe sis Amore ano.
The creative power within us makes us
Wala na, ako
able
nang
to
taga-video, siya na ang vlogger.
attention. We are thinking substance.
Oh, guys, ang laki.
Substance always takes the form
Ang
of
laki. Uy, I have to do. Maurice, wow. Wow.
therefore, it tends to become the best.
Guys, tingnan niyo si Amore, oh. Ah, grabe.
And we are
Wow! Ah! Galing niya maghimas. Yes! Magaling yan maghimas. Anwer! Panalo yan sa himas-himas. Oh, ha? Tak-tak. Oh! Narinig mo yun, Anwer? Ha? Kung gaano kalami. Hampak-hampakon ni Amore.
It is necessary then to cultivate the habit of being
Yan. Ano niya na yan.
and to give thanks.
Oh, tingnan nyo. With love yan.
Because all things have contributed to
Oh.
your advancement. You should include all
Sige
things.
pa, Amore. Himas-himasa.
Do not waste time
Yan.
talking about the shortcomings or wrong actions of photographs or dressing.
Agoy! Pagkatapos maghimas, may pik-pik pa lagi. Hoy! Ma'am Ninya! Ma'am Ninya, ala eh. Miguel shout out ala eh.
If you're not for politicians,
Salamat sa paharang, Ma'am Ninya. Wa ko'y kahumanan ani karon.
greatly lesson. God has built a long
Ay, ang ako nga muri guys. Kaya
bring us up to where we are.
gipakuan man niya. Uy!
And he's going right on with his work. There is
Diya, sa mo.
that he will do away with photographs, trust magnets, captains of industry.
Ma'am Ninya, ala eh. Good morning.
Time. Behold, they are all
Kadako sa dough. Lagi, Ma'am Juan. How many kilo this one, Amore?
along which the riches will come to you. And to be
Sigur-
grateful to them always.
Malaki guys. Malaki.
Use relations with
Kadako.
magnetism.
Dako kayo. Mangita ko butanganan sa kuan. Cellphone. Wala man ko stand gudoy. Sa muka, sa kinabuhi.
Thinking in a certain way.
Mure.
Have to check
Ay,
Apply ko. Ma'am Ninya said want to apply job. Work here.
and you will get a fair idea of the initial step toward getting rich.
I have to put it there, Amore. So, look, see?
You cannot transmit an
But I
idea
can't do
unless
it.
you have it yourself.
allora,
You
questi
must
se...
have it before you can give
Aia.
it. And many people fail to impress basic substance because they have themselves only a vague and listic concept of the things they want to do, to have, or to become. It is not enough that you should have a general desire for wealth.
16
to
kilos.
do this.
16 kilos. 16 kilos. 16. 1.6 kilos. Sino kailan? Sino may gusto ng how much per kilo?
Everybody has those desires.
16 kilos. 16 kilos.
Non si marca.
16 kilos daw, Ma'am Ninya. Amore, I'm gonna stand in here forever.
One which meant something.
I need a stand.
When you try to impress your wants upon substance, remember
Kausapin
that
niyo.
the coherence takes a
Jemeda, Miguel shout. Salamat sa patambay
You
uldan.
never get rich or
And
start the
kill me.
creative power into action by sending out
I can't.
unformed longings
I
and
can't.
vague
I have-
desires.
Don't have stand.
Go over your desires just as
Bungog
the
taani.
man runs over his house. See just what you want and get a clear mental picture of it.
Ay, Diyos ko day. Diyos ko
Your
day.
mental picture you must have continually in mind, as the sailor has
What
in
are you
mind
doing?
toward which he's sailing the ship. You must keep your
More,
face
I need
towards
to-
all the time.
I can't finish if I keep holding the phone.
The steersman loses sight of the compass. It is not necessary to take exercises
Sa muka, sa
concentration,
kinabuhi.
nor to set apart special times for prayer and affirmation, nor to
Ay,
go to the
yoga.
sun, nor to do occult stuff of any kind.
Meh.
These things are well enough, but all you need is to
Wow,
want
dami.
and to want it badly enough.
Perfetto, prima ti può posare da qualche parte, no?
Spend as much your leisure time as you can in contemplating your picture, but no one needs to take exercises to concentrate his mind on a thing he really wants. It is the things you do not really care about which require effort to fix your attention upon them. And unless you really want to get rich, so that the desire is strong enough to hold your thoughts directed to the purpose, as the magnetic pole holds the needle of the compass, it will hardly be worthwhile for you to try to carry out the instructions given in this book.
But you have to move
The
it because
methods herein set
I have to
forth
put
are
it
for
like this.
people whose desire for riches
Oh.
is strong enough to overcome mental laziness and the love of ease,
Like it
and
cuts
they
through.
can work.
Ah, because it's there
More
twisted.
clear and
See.
definite
No,
Twisted.
turn the camera, no?
Like this. No, it's not clear if I don't switch it on.
The stronger your
So they see
desire
this.
and the stronger your desire,
No,
the
you can
easier
also
it will
put
be
it-
to keep your mind fixed upon the picture of what you want. Something more is necessary, however, than merely to see the picture clearly.
Doesn't matter.
If that is all you
You see
do,
the-
you're only a dreamer, and you
See.
have little or no power for
Don't touch it.
accomplishment.
Così.
And your clear vision must be the
Okay, ask
purpose to
him.
realize it, to bring it out in tangible expression.
Ang daming
This
problema.
purpose must be an invincible and unwavering
Stop
faith
moving it
that the
because it's
thing
no,
is
there's no
already
signal.
yours,
Look, stop, stop,
that
stop.
it is at hand, and you have only to take possession of it.
You have to put it
Live
up
in the
there,
new
maybe.
house mentally until it takes form around you physically.
I'll take care.
In the mental realm, enter at once into full enjoyment of the things you want. Whatsoever things ye ask for when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them, said Jesus. See the things you want as if they were actually
I
around
can't
you
read the
all the
message,
time.
Alura.
See yourself as owning and using them. Make use of them in imagination, just as you will use them when they are your tangible possessions. Dwell upon your mental picture until it is clear and distinct, and then take the mental attitude of ownership toward everything in that picture. Take possession of it in mind, in the full faith that it is actually yours. Hold to this mental ownership. Do not waver for an instant in the faith that is real. And remember what was said in the preceding chapter.
Guys,
about
inaayos
gratitude.
na ano, hindi
Be as
ka.
thankful for
I
it
can't
all
even
the
read the
time,
message.
as you expect it to be when it has taken form. The man who can sincerely thank God for the things which
Well,
have
let's
yet
move the
beyond
camera.
only
Put it
imagination
down.
has real faith.
Papi,
He
Kwang.
will get rich. He will cause
Kwang,
the
put
creation
it
of
down.
whatsoever he
Here, it's a
wants.
good one.
You do not need to pray repeatedly for things you want. It is not necessary to tell God about it every
No, it
day.
doesn't fit there.
Use not vain repetitions as
Maybe
the heathen do,
you
said Jesus to his
ruined the
disciples.
signal.
For your Father knoweth
What
that
did
ye
I
have
do?
need of these things before ye ask him. Your part is to intelligently formulate your desire for the things which
Papi,
make for
Papi,
large
we're
your
not
life.
gonna
Well,
finish.
you don't understand there that you.
I don't have it.
And then to
Yeah, I
impress
do it
this
be-
whole
I do
desire
it.
upon the formless substance, which is the power and the will to bring you what you want. You do not make this impression by repeating strings of words. You make it by holding the vision with unshakable purpose to attain.
Sa muka. Tamsak dong, Ski. Salamat sa patamsak dong.
The
Yan,
answer to
amore, oh,
prayer
that's it.
is not according to your faith while you are talking, but according to your faith.
Dong,
while
salamat
you
sa
are working.
patamsak.
You cannot impress the mind of God by having a
We're
special
trying to
Sabbath
fix
day
sa
to
ano.
tell him what you want, and of forgetting him during the rest of the week. You cannot impress him by having special hours to go into your closet and pray, if you then dismiss the matter from your mind until the hour of prayer comes again. Oral prayer is well enough, and has its effect, especially upon yourself, in clarifying your vision and strengthening your faith. But it is not your oral petitions which get you what you want. In order to get rich,
Ha,
you
mare,
need to
guarda.
prayer. You need to pray without ceasing.
Dong, Ski, salamat sa patambay. Pizza, please. More, do you want the pizza now?
Into solid form, and the faith that you are doing so. Believe that you receive them. The whole matter turns.
Salamat sa patambay, guys. More, pizza daw.
When you have formed it, it is well to make
Makita nyo guys,
magano
magmasa si Amore. Ako'y magwawalis muna. Tatapusin ko yung wawalisin ko.
Live in the new house, wear the fine clothes, ride in the automobile, go on the journey, and confidently plan for greater journeys. Think and speak of all the things you have asked for in terms of actual present ownership. Imagine an environment and a financial condition exactly as you want them, and live all the time in that imaginary environment and financial condition. Mind, however, that you do not do this as a mere dreamer or castle builder. Hold to the faith that the imaginary is being realized, and to the purpose to realize it. Remember that it is faith and purpose in the use of the imagination which makes the difference between the scientist
You look for
and the
money,
dreamer.
I give you
Until
advice.
learn the
You keep
steps,
advice,
it is here
take
that
money
you must learn
twice.
the proper use of the will. End of chapter 8. Chapter 9. How to use the will. To set about getting rich in a scientific way, you do not try to apply your willpower
What was
to
that?
anything
I did-
outside of yourself.
You
have
look
the
for
right
money,
answer anyway.
Squid Game!
You want to apply your will to other men and women in order to get them to do what you wish done. It is as flagrantly wrong to coerce people by mental
Manadja.
power as it is to coerce them by physical power. If compelling people by physical force to do things for you reduces them to slavery, compelling them by mental means accomplishes exactly the same thing. The only difference is in methods. If taking things from people by physical force is robbery, then taking things by mental force is robbery also.
Okie dokie.
You have no right to use your willpower upon another person, even for his own good, for you do not know what is for his good. The science of getting rich does not require you to apply power or force to any other person in any way whatsoever. There is not the slightest necessity for doing so. Indeed, any attempt to use your will upon others will ultimately refute your purpose. You do not need to apply your will to things in order to compel them to come to you. That would simply be trying to coerce God, foolish as well as irreverent. You do not have to coerce God to do evil things. Rather than you need to use your willpower to do what is right. You do not have to
need to
use your
look
willpower
at
to
me
conquer
that
an
much.
deity, or to make stubborn and rebellious forces do your bidding.
Vabbè.
Substance is friendly to you, and is more anxious to do what you want than you are to make it. To get rich, you need only to use your willpower upon yourself. When you know what to think or do, then you must use your will to compel yourself to think and do the right thing. That is the legitimate use of the will in getting what you want. To use it in holding yourself to the right course. Use your will to keep yourself thinking and acting in a certain way. Do not try to project your will or your thoughts or your mind out into space to act on things or people. Keep your mind at home. It can accomplish more there than elsewhere. Use your mind to form a mental image of what you want and to hold that vision with faith and purpose. And use your will to keep your mind working in the right way. The more steady and continuous your faith and purpose, the more rapidly you will get rich, because you will make only positive impressions upon substance, and you will not neutralize or offset them by negative impressions. The picture of your desires, held with faith and purpose, is taken up by the formless and permitted to great distances
Can the people hear me?
throughout the universe for all they know. As this impression spreads, all things are set moving toward its realization.
What?
Your radio is too loud.
It's not loud, my radio.
Things yet uncreated are searching for creation.
But can the people hear me there?
All force begins to move started in that.
Can you hear me?
All things begin to move toward you. The minds of
How can I hear the answer, Amore?
toward you in the way that necessary and they work for you unconsciously.
There's nobody chatting.
You can check the negative by checking the negative impression of the form. The outer unbelief is as certain to start a movement away from you as faith and purpose are to start one toward you. It is by not understanding this that most people who try to make use of mental science in getting rich make their failure. Every hour and moment is spent in giving heed to doubts and fears. Every hour is spent in worry. Every hour in which your soul is possessed by
You smoking again?
the main of your intelligent substance.
Good morning, Sir Marigo! Good morning, Sir Marigo daw. It was Dungsky.
What is written there?
There, TikTok, there, in the chat. You have to read it.
See, it's written small. How can I read over there?
Say good morning,
It
Dungsky.
disappeared.
Say good morning, Dungsky. Dai, hindi pa bunales si...
Huh?
Si sino na? Si Sis ha? Ha? Hindi ko...
I love you too.
Bakulon ko na yun. Bakulon. This one, don't...
Health is never to be attained by studying the things that make you righteousness. Righteousness is not to be promoted by studying sin and thinking without sin. And no one ever got rich by studying poverty and thinking without poverty. Medicine is a science of disease has increased disease. Religion is science of sin has promoted sin. And the science of the study of poverty will fill the world with wretchedness and poverty. Do not talk about poverty. Do not investigate it or concern yourself with it. Never mind what its causes are. You have nothing to do with them. What concerns you is the cure. Do not spend your time in charitable work or charity. All charity only
Okay, if for who you that can hear me, for everybody that can hear me, I'm going to proceed on make the pizza bowl, which is the portion that put in the box here, and then they grow, and we make pizza tonight. The dough have to rest on the table for about 10 minutes more or less, which is about past. And then we proceed with the rolling the balls. For whoever want to open a pizzeria in the Philippines, I'd be happy to train you online. And once this pandemic freak things run out, I come to visit you and we can start a franchise.
Well, Philippine?
Why not?
Oi, the Italian family want to do it. They want to come to visit to learn from you. But the pandemic is... Oh, stop it. Put the windows. Yan.
Okie dokie.
It smells cigarette now. Well, I leave you in here for a while and do the rest of the stuff. Guys, si Marigo's muna ang mag-entertain sa inyo. Sinong nandyan? Si Marigo's muna ang manood ang mag-entertain sa inyo.
I can also show you this dressed as a chef with the white jacket, the hat and everything. But remember something, the clothing doesn't mean that you are a chef.
Dongski! Dongski is a good baker. Ha, Dongs? Di ba, Dong? Magaling ka mag-ano?
I don't know Donski.
Dongski!
Donski, it means do not go and do skiing.
Hesa! Aning! Say hello to Hesa.
Ciao Esa! Sending out an SOS.
Guys, Marigo muna mag-entertain dyan sa inyo at ako'y magmamap ng floor. Si Marigo's muna guys ha. Ako'y magmamap lang ng floor.
I love you too.
What? Did I say that?
Pa 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 para para para. Obviously, the pizza ball have to be all the same weight.
Well, then we will ask you something there. You
And
can,
in this case, 230 grams. Here in Italy, as you know, we don't use ounces, cup, or other freak measurement. We use the decimal measurement of kilos, liter, and length, which is meter. If somebody of you want to know the recipe, it's a good thought. Just listen, because I'm not gonna write it down. This dough is made with a process called polish, which consists of mixing the same amount of water and flour, okay, added with yeast, which is the growing how do you call the stuff that make grow the dough, okay, yeast, and left it there, in this case, for 12 hours. After that 12 hours, you add the rest of the flour, which normally is another 50%. Okay. And you mix with the machine, obviously. And when it's almost done, you add salt. At the end, you add the oil, if you want to add oil. Otherwise, you add a little water extra. But it's better with the oil, especially extra virgin olive oil.
we can do this. We can make a class for you.
Huh?
Doing how to make
A class for me?
See,
Make a class for them, not for me.
see for you, and then you only the join.
The joint.
Well, see the video how you do it.
Let's have a joint.
Join. Power join.
Well, and then I put it in. Amore mio, come farò per continuare a vivere? E proprio io che ti amo, ti sto implorando, aiutami a distruggerti. Or you want something more old Italian fashion? Che bella Osanna, il sole, un'aria serena, dopo una tempesta, bella aria fresca,
Sino yun, di ko mabasa.
pareggiana festa.
Damski, salamat!
Che bella cosa, Nayuna, e sole. Oh sole mio, sta in fronte a te. Oh sole mio. Actually, today is a really foggy day. I don't think oh sole mio I'm gonna help that much.
Ha? Sama.
Sì, Osama e Bin Laden. Cazzo, che c'è?
It's 10 o'clock. Why you move all my stuff in here? This is not clean. Did you clean it?
I did clean it. Yesterday I did use it.
Ah, see?
And I did clean it.
How to help you? No. I go do my things here.
I wouldn't mind that she helped me. But the problem here is that to learn to do this, it requires kind of techniques and an understanding of why you do that techniques apply to what you're doing. In this case, when you
Can't
did
hear
the
you
portion,
properly.
shut up.
Can't hear you properly.
Huh?
Look closer, baby.
In this case, to roll the balls, okay, after that you made a portion of the ground that you desire, which now here is about 220, 230 grams. The purpose of rolling is
Rolling.
to let the
Rolling.
air flowing out from the dough. In this case, no, in this case. So, this became, as you can see, it came back. These, they're not roll up, they stay like that because they have a lot of air inside still. Another thing, when you roll up the balls, you don't have to make it warm with your hands. Okay, then you don't have to stay there a long time to do it. Otherwise, it warm up and it's not good anymore. Somehow it became more elastic and difficult to spread later. For if you want another recipe, listen as I follow.
Sorry.
Hey.
What?
Questo? No, così no. Tirarsi qua, dove tiri, o quando lo metti via così, perché sennò se schiaccia ti fili. Stai capendo?
Why it's in the kitchen anyway? I don't even.
Why is in the kitchen? Because I listen in the kitchen.
should put it up there.
Perché non metti il tuo basilico solo?
Basilico is gonna...
Anyway, the recipe for the dough is based on how many clients you normally have with the eat pizza, so the number of pizza that you do, obviously. Because if you have to make 10 pizza, you cannot make 100 balls because they last 3 days in the fridge. So, what should we call it? But basically, after that, another thing that you have to consider is what type of oven you have to cook the pizza. If you have an electric oven, the dough should be made with biga, which is a different process from this one. There are two types of what do you call dough mixing of dough. Okay.
Mixing a dough.
One is direct mixing, and the other one is undirected. Direct dough or direct or undirect dough. I think we say like that in English, but I'm not sure. Well, I explain to you. You can put water, yeast, flour, salt, and oil. Okay, and mix it all at once, and that's called direct mixing.
Free question kung
Or-
sinong nakikinig.
Or the other one, which is much better, you take the flour and you prepare what we call in Italian biga or polish. Biga or polish are other two type of undirected dough. Why? Because you prepare part of the dough today and you finish it tomorrow. And that's
That's what you're doing, no?
And that's the best way, to my point of view, because you give the time to the yeast to do its chemical process of growing and
Oh,
get mature, how they say. If you have an electric oven, I suggest you to use the bigger the bigger process. If you have a wooden oven, you can use biga, make in a different way, or the polish, as I do. Which the polish is not the one that you clean the car, eh? Anyway, let's start from the water. For every liter of water, you put 2 kilos of flour. Okay? For every liter of water,
Sino yun? Tulonggas, make a loud shout out!
for every liter of water,
Hesa!
you put 50 grams of salt and 50 grams of oil. And the yeast is related to the environment.
Mga miga-miga
It means-
mall din sa host. Yahoo, Hesa!
If it's very hot, you don't need to put so much.
You can
yeast.
put it there because it's charging already, so it's Guarda.
Shut up.
No, because it's like you can read the...
I don't need to read. I'm working. So, normally for making pizza we use a kind of flour which is about, we call it with the strong W. The W is the indicator of the strength of the flour. Now I'm using a 330W flour, grinded by stone. How do you call it? Stone grinded? Wow. I have no idea how to say it in English. You should learn some Italian anyway. Why we use high W flour? So it lasts longer and it gets more elastic, and you can manipulate it. When you open the pizza, you make the disc for the pizza, you can manipulate it properly. Now, this dough that I make now is ready for tonight. But the better thing is to leave it in the fridge and use it tomorrow. It's even better. If you use a different type of flour, like 220, 240, 180, the lowest W, you will notice that it's going to be ready much earlier. But even if it's ready earlier, it tastes different, because the flour will need at least 12 to 24 hours to mature, to make the gluten protein weak, so it became nicer, the taste, the flavor, the taste. coffee this morning.
Well, I want to use this one.
Hey Siri, play.
Fill your mind with pictures of poverty. Do not read books or papers which give you circumstantial accounts of the wretchedness of the tenement dwellers, of child labor, and so on. Do not read anything which fills your mind with gloomy images of want and suffering. You cannot help the poor in the least by knowing about these things, and the widespread knowledge of them does not tend to all to do away with poverty. What tends to do away with poverty is not the getting of pictures of poverty into your mind, but getting pictures of wealth into the minds of the poor. You are not deserting the poor in their misery when you refuse to allow your mind to be filled with pictures of that misery. Poverty can be done away with, not by increasing the number of well-to-do people to think about poverty, but by increasing the number of poor people who purpose with faith to get rich. The poor do not need charity, they need inspiration. Charity only sends them a loaf of bread to keep them alive in their wretchedness, or gives them an entertainment to make them forget for an hour or two. But inspiration will cause them to rise out of their misery. If you want to help the poor, demonstrate to them that they can become rich. Prove it by getting rich yourself. The only way in which poverty will ever be banished from this world is by getting a large and constantly increasing number of people to practice the teaching of this book. People must be taught to become rich by creation, not by competition. Every man who becomes rich by competition throws down behind him the ladder by which he rises and keeps others down. But every man who gets rich by creation opens a way for thousands to follow him and inspires them to do so. You are not showing hardness of heart or an unfeeling disposition when you refuse to pity poverty, see poverty, read about poverty, think and talk about it, or to listen to those who do talk about it. Use your willpower to keep your mind off the subject of poverty and to keep it fixed with faith and purpose on the vision of what you want. End of chapter 9. Chapter 10. Further use of the will. You cannot retain a true and clear vision of wealth if you are constantly turning your attention to opposing pictures, whether they be external or imaginary. Do not tell of your past troubles of a financial nature, if you have had them. Do not think of them at all. Do not tell of the poverty of your parents, or the hardships of your early life. To do any of these things is to mentally class yourself with the poor for the time being, and it will certainly check the movement of things in your direction. Let the dead bury their dead, as Jesus said. Put poverty and all things that pertain to poverty completely behind you. You have accepted a certain theory of the universe as being correct, and are resting all your hopes of happiness on its being correct. And what can you gain by giving heed to conflicting theories? Do not read religious books which tell you that the world is soon coming to an end. And do not read the writing of muckrakers and pessimistic philosophers who tell you that it is going to the devil. The world is not going to the devil, it is going to God. It is wonderful becoming. True, there may be a good many things in existing conditions which are disagreeable, but what is the use of studying them when they are certainly passing away, and when the study of them only tends to check their passing and keep them with us? Why give time and attention to things which are being removed by evolutionary growth, when you can hasten their removal only by promoting the evolutionary growth as far as your part of it goes? No matter how horrible and seeming may be the conditions in certain countries, sections, or places, you waste your time and destroy your own chances by considering them. You should interest yourself in the world's becoming rich. Think of the riches the world is coming into, instead of the poverty it is growing out of. And bear in mind that the only way in which you can assist the world in growing rich is by growing rich yourself through the creative method, not the competitive one. Give your attention wholly to the riches. Ignore poverty. Whenever you think or speak of those who are poor, think and speak of them as those who are becoming rich, as those who are to be congratulated rather than pitied. Then they and others will catch the inspiration and begin to search for the way out. Because I say that you are to give your whole time and mind and thoughts to riches, it does not follow that you are to be sordid or mean. To become really rich is the noblest aim you can have in life, for it includes everything else. On the competitive plane, the struggle to get rich is a godless scramble for power over other men. But when we come into the creative mind, all this is changed. All that is possible in the way of greatness and soul unfoldment, of service and lofty endeavor, comes by way of getting rich. It is made possible by the use of things. If you lack for physical health, you will find that the attainment of it is conditional on your getting rich. Only those who are emancipated from financial worries and who have the means to live a carefree existence and follow hygienic practices can have and retain health. Moral and spiritual greatness is possible only to those who are above the competitive battle of existence, and only those who are becoming rich on the plane of creative thought are free from the degrading influences of competition. If your heart is set on domestic happiness, remember that it flourishes best where there is refinement, a high level of thought, freedom from corrupting influences, and these are to be found only where riches are attained by the exercise of creative thought, without strife or rivalry. You can aim at nothing so great or noble, I repeat, as to become rich, and you must fix your attention upon your mental picture of riches, to the exclusion of all that may tend to dim or obscure the vision. You must learn to see the underlying truth in all things. You must see beneath all seemingly wrong conditions the greater in life ever moving forward toward fuller expression and more complete happiness. It is the truth that there is no such thing as poverty, that there is only wealth. Some people remain in poverty because they are ignorant of the fact that there is wealth for them, and these can be best taught by showing them the way of affluence in their own person and practice. Others are poor because, while they feel that there is a way out, they are too intellectually indolent to put forth the mental effort necessary to find that way and by travel it. And for these, the very best thing you can do is to arouse their desire by showing them the happiness that comes from being rightly rich. Others still are poor because, while they have some notion of science, they have become so swamped and lost in the maze of metaphysical and occult theories that they do not know which road to take. They try a mixture of many systems and fail in all. For these again, the very best thing to do is to show the right way in your own personal practice. An ounce of living things is worth a pound of theorizing. The very best thing you can do for the whole world is to make the most of yourself. You can serve God and man in no more effective way than by getting rich. That is, if you get rich by the creative method and not by the competitive one. In other things, we assert that this book gives in detail the principles of the science of getting rich, and if that is true, you do not need to read any other book on the subject. This may sound narrow and egoistical, but consider, there is no more scientific method of computation in mathematics than by addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. No other method is possible. There can be but one shortest distance between 2 points. There is only one way to think scientifically, and that is to think in the way that leads to the most direct and simple route to the goal. No man has yet formulated a briefer or less complex system than the one set forth herein. It has been stripped of all non-essentials. When you commence on this, lay all others aside. Put them out of your mind altogether. Read this book every day. Keep it with you. Commit it to memory, and do not think about other systems and theories. If you do, you will begin to have doubts, and to be uncertain and wavering in my thought. and then you will begin to make failures. After you have made good and become rich, you may study other systems as much as you please, but until you are quite sure that you have gained what you want, do not read anything on this line but this book, unless it be the authors mentioned in the preface. And use only the most optimistic comments of the words in those in harmony with your picture. Also, perform your investigations into the occult. Do not dabble in theosophy, spiritualism, or kindred studies. It is very likely that the dead still live and are here, but if they are, let them alone. Mind your own business. Wherever the spirits of the dead will be, they have their own life to do and their own problems to solve, and we have no right to interfere with them. We cannot help them, and it is very doubtful whether they can help us, or whether we have any right to trespass upon their time if we can. Let the dead and the hereafter alone, and solve your own problem. Get rich. If you begin to mix with the occult, you will start mental cross-currents, which will surely bring your hopes to shipwreck. Now, this and the preceding chapters have brought us to the following statement of the basic facts. There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which, in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. The thought in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. Man can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance, can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. In order to do this, man must pass from the contemplative to the creative mind. He must form a clear mental picture of the things he wants, hold this picture in his thoughts with the fixed purpose to get what he wants, and the unwavering faith that he does get what he wants, closing his mind against all that may tend to shake his purpose, dim his vision, or quench his faith. And in addition to all this, we shall now see that he must live and act in a certain way. End of chapter 10. Chapter 11. Acting in a certain way. Thought is the creative power, or the impelling force which causes the creative power to act. Thinking in a certain way will bring riches to you, but you must not rely upon thought alone, paying no attention to personal action. That is the rock upon which many otherwise scientific metaphysical thinkers meet shipwreck, the failure to connect thought with personal action. We have not yet reached a stage of development, even supposing such a stage to be possible, in which man can create directly from formless substance without nature's processes or the work of human hands. Man must not only think, but his personal action must supplement his thought. By thought, you can cause the gold in the hearts of the mountains to be impelled toward you, but it will not mine itself, refine itself, coin itself into double eagles, and come rolling along the road, making its way into your pocket. Under the impelling power of the Supreme Spirit, man's affairs will be so ordered that someone will be led to mine the gold for you. Other men's business transactions will be so directed that the gold will be brought toward you, and you must so arrange your own business affairs that you may be able to receive it when it comes to you. Your thought makes all things, animate and inanimate, work to bring you what you want. But your personal activity must be such that you can rightly receive what you want when it reaches you. You are not to take it as charity, nor to steal it. You must give every man more in use value than he gives you in cash value. The scientific use of thought consists in forming a clear and distinct mental image of what you want, in holding fast to the purpose to get what you want, and in realizing with grateful faith that you do get what you want. Do not try to project your thought in any mysterious or occult way, with the idea of having it go out and do things for you. That is wasted effort, and will weaken your power to think with sanity. The action of thought in getting rich is fully explained in the preceding chapters. Your faith and purpose positively impress your vision upon formless substance, which has the same desire for more life that you have, and this vision received from you sets all the creative forces at work in and through their regular channels of action, but directed toward you. It is not your part to guide or supervise the creative process. All you have to do with that is to retain your vision, stick to your purpose, and maintain your faith and gratitude. But you must act in a certain way, so that you can appropriate what is yours when it comes to you, so that you can meet the things you have in your picture, and put them in their proper places as they arrive. You can really see the truth of this. When things reach you, they will be in the hands of other men, who will ask an equivalent for them. And you can only get what is yours by giving the other man what is his. Your pocketbook is not going to be transformed into a Fortunatus purse, which shall be always full of money without effort on your part. This is a crucial point in the science of getting rich. Right here, where thought and personal action must be
Finish.
combined. There are very many people who, consciously or unconsciously, set the creative forces in action by the strength and persistence of their desire, but who remain poor because they do not provide for the reception of the thing they want when it comes. By thought, the thing you want is brought to you. By action, you receive it. Whatever your action is to be, it is evident that you must act now. You cannot act in the past, and it is essential to the clearance of your mental vision that you dismiss the past from your mind. You cannot act in the future, for the future is not here yet. And you cannot tell how you will want to act in any future contingency until that contingency has arrived. Because you are not in the right business or the right environment now, do not think that you must postpone action until you get into the right business or environment. Do not spend time in the present, taking thought as to the best course in possible future emergencies. Have faith in your ability to meet any emergency when it arrives. If you act in the present with your mind on the future, your present action will be with a divided mind and will not be effective. Put your whole mind into present action. Do not give your creative impulse to original substance, and then sit down and wait for results. If you do, you will never get them. Act now. There is never any time but now, and there never will be any time but now. If you are ever to begin to make ready for the reception of what you want, you must begin now. And your action, whatever it is, must most likely be in your present business or employment, and must be upon the persons and things in your present environment. You cannot act where you are not. You cannot act where you have been, and you cannot act where you are going to be. You can act only where you are. Do not bother as to whether yesterday's work was well done or ill done. Do today's work well. Do not try to do tomorrow's work now. There will be plenty of time to do that when you get to it. Do not try, by a cold or mystical means, to act on people or things that are out of your reach. Do not wait for a change of environment before you act. Get a change of environment by action. You can so act upon the environment in which you are now, as to cause yourself to be transferred to a better environment. Let us take and purpose the vision of yourself in the better environment, but act upon your present environment with all your heart, and with all your strength, and with all your mind. Do not spend any time in the day dreaming or castle building. Hold to the one vision of what you want, and act now. Do not guess about seeking some new thing to do, or some strange, unusual, or remarkable action to perform as a first step toward getting rich. It is probable that your actions, at least for some time to come, will be those you have been performing for some time past. But you are to begin now to perform these actions in a certain way, which will surely make you.
This is the final
If you're engaged
result.
in some business and feel that
See
it's
how
not
you
the
can
right
see
fit for you,
they became
do not
double.
wait until you get into the right business before
More or
you
less.
begin to act. Do not feel discouraged or sit down and lament because you are misplaced. No man was ever so misplaced but that he could not find the right place, and no man ever became so involved in the wrong business but that he could get into the right business. Hold the vision of yourself in the right business with the purpose to get into it, and the faith that you will get into it and are getting into it. But act in your present business. Use your present business as the means of getting the better one, and use your present environment as the means of getting into a better one. Your vision of the right business.
Clean here? Did you clean here?
Mas se fosse o forno,
Why? This one? La 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 la. La 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 la. Perché? Diyan muna kayo. Uy, 96. Madam! Miss you! Uy! Ate Nams! Ate Nams! Pagdating ko mamaya, ano ta? StreamYard ka? Mga 1 hour na lang kami dire. Gusto ka mag-StreamYard? Harang. Tinami! Ate Nams, si StreamYard. Tinami! Tinami, paminaw ba? Tama na ng harang. Skip ng harang ba? Paminaw. Ambot ko may signal dire guys ha. Dali lang guys ha. Tinami. Paminaw ba? No, I didn't hear you. Kagwapo sa harang, oy! Kinsa day harang? Tenams! Unsa man, i-ilista ka. Mag-live stream ka mamaya. Pag-uli na ako dire, i-live stream ka na mo. Ha? Tinami. Ma'am Kukyana, Migalaw shout out from trending TikTok from Tinami. Bapaan, Migalaw shout out from Tinami. Tinami. Nakay kwan, nakay load. Kay StreamYard na kapag abot na mo sa balay. Tinami. Ambot lang kung mahulog mo din guys ha. Dahil lang ha. Ay, mahulog. Ha, Tinams. Nakakay kwan. Nakakay load mamaya. Ano ka na mo? StreamYard. Kasaka ka. Hihi na, madam. Sige. Pagkahuman ako din sa kwana sa pizzeria, StreamYard ka na mo, StreamYard ka. Napaman mi good sa pizzeria. So, people in the house, salamat sa patambay. Aneng, Biswak, Ma'am Pukyama. Sana natin. Tinami, pag-abot na ko sa balay, mag-StreamYard ta. StreamYard ka na mo. Ayahot na imong load. Sige, madam, tabangan ta ka dira. Dali, tabangi ko dire. Pwede man ka siguro na ako ikuan dira o para klaro. Pwede mahulog. Dali lang, be. Pwede man siguro dire. La 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 la. Dali na lamang kumahuman. Sila na lang ni. Ay. Mahulog. Naglakat pa ko madam gikan eskwelahan. Mayo lang na mamaya si Ate Nams. Mahulog guys, mahulog akong cellphone diri. Mawasak forever na gid, di ba? Sama na ako ni butang. Dira sa mo oy, dira sa mo ha. Dira lang sa mo. Ay, ilan na lang ni duha na lang kabuok na akong hugasan. Mahuman ako. Tapos magmap lang ko og kuan floor. Magmap lang ko og floor tapos ulit na mi. Kasamukan. Tinami, balik na ko LS at tinams. Luya, busy kayo ka diha. Okay lang at tinams. Mahuman lagi ni. Dua na lang, isa na lang. Pataba nga si Bruno. Wala si Bruno dito sa balay. Nami sa pizzeria. Si Bruno tigtilap. Lagi sa balay siya tigtilap. Tiglimpi prima. Nami sa pizzeria. Tinami. Paguman ako dire. Paguman ako din manguli mi or basig agi mi upuan. Agi mi og supermarket tapos manguli na mi. Kita-kits na sa mga LS at tinam, balik na LS si si Marigo's. Haha, dala si Bruno diha madam para na kay tigtaba. Si Bruno is the best thing to do to live for everything. Sigurado. Si Bruno na ang pinakamasayang nilalang sa buong mundo. Pagdalaw na ako din pizza iyang kwan. Yung pagkaon, di na namukaon ng uban tahon. Hello, Sir Marigo. May galaw shout out from Atinami. Marigo. Atinami. Hello.
Hello.
Para kang si Lorenzo.
Hello.
Atinami.
Hello, name.
Atinami.
Ate, name. Name, ate.
Atinami.
Name.
Atinami. Lami, atinami. Oh, ha? Ilang atinams? La 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 la. Do the floor, ma. I did in there. Last na hugasan. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ihion ko oy.
Cos'è che brilla sul tuo visino? La grande voglia di un bel
Well, nagpaharang, nagsigig paharang ka at nami. Paharang pati nams. Yan, tapos na tayo dito. Umano na ako diri. Diri ah. Napa ko'y floor nga ano. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Sama ni Oy, mahulog naman pud ka diri Oy. Dili makahold man ni Oy. Kana mas maayo ni, mas maayo ni. Mas maayo. Aneng! I-streamyard na to si ate nami. Pag-abot na ko balay ning, ha? Mag-streamyard ta ka ate nami ning. Salamat, madam. Napakuha silingan. Okay lang. Naapaman mi din natin namin. Tinam. Karon pa. Naapaman mi sa pizzeria. Why? Grasa? Dust? We're going to supermercado, no? Osama. Sultan Perubada.
Ah?
Ah?
Non c'è un sacco per attaccare il forno?
Asa? Sako ba?
Un sacco? Non c'è un sacco per attaccare il forno?
Eh?
Per attaccare il forno?
O sako? Come? O paper?
Paper bag.
Ma perché mi sako?
Paper
Human.
bag, un sacco.
No. No. Guys, humana mi guys. Humana ko. Si Marigo mag-ano pa. What? Are you gonna switch on the oven? Magsi-switch on pa si ano. Yan niyo pa yung oven. Shall I switch off the heater? Oh no, leave it.
Ma non trovo un sacco, un cartone, niente. So.
Quello della pizza!
Ma no, non gonna use that.
Ma perché no?
Perché? I paid for this.
But this one è usato!
Leave them there then.
Ay, signore, you make yourself so complicated.
There. What's wrong with you?
Guys, patapos na ako pero si Marigo guys is magsuswitch on pa ng ano niya, ng oven niya. At ang arte. Sako daw, sako. 5 million in the house. Mega love shoutout. Salamat. Wak. Na ako'y bagong girito sa imuwawak ba? Wak. Paminaw. Katong friend na ako, wak ba nga, gipadikita na ako sa inyo ha ba? Wak pa to asawa. Wak! Basig masaag tuwak ba sa mga LS na tuwak ba? Wak! Milyonaryo to, may sariling kwana to, may sariling restaurant. Ayusin mo wak, ang buhay mo wak, chance mo na to wak. Magkapit bahay tayo sa Pilipinas. Kapit bahay namin yon. Pero nasa Hawaii siya ngayon. Nasa Hawaii siya ngayon, nasa Hawaii. Wak, pagtarong ba? Ligo adlaw-adlaw. Ayaw pahubog sa LS. Wak, follow my advice para makapangasawa na ka, yate. Wak. Si ate namin po di ayo, single di kayo. Si ate namin, single po di kayo. Hawak, ligo adlaw-adlaw wak ha, ayaw kalimtig ligo. Basketball player po tuwak. Nadaog daw sila, nadaog sila karon, nagbasketball sila, nagbasketball league, nadaog daw sila. Lami to wak mag-bounce wak ba? I-bounce gid ka ato. Na si Marigo nagsuon pa, he's making mess pero dito na ta guys, maghintay tayo kay Marigo. Mori, where's the other chair?
In the fridge.
Piskot, hatag kay ninya. Uy, ayaw. Wa ka, ikaw kaya. Late na kayo wak ba? Ang imuhang kuan ba? Pangwan na ba? Pangasawa na ba? Maglingkod ta oy. Dito ta maglingkod ko kay magulat pa ko kay Marigo oy. Gulat pa kay Marigo, wala pa siya kahuman sa iyang oven. More. Can I have your something like this? Akwak, pamati, paminaw sa kuha, paminaw. Wak, paminaw wak ba? Chance na ni mo ni wak ba? Chance na ni mo ni. Hmm? Wak, paminaw. Ayaw, sige pahubog na wak. Kasi kasuhan na imong kinabuhi wak. Sus dugayan ni Marigo mo man oy, nahuman ako oy. Sara manggod sakyanan gidala namo di ko makauli dayon ba. Laton pa ako sa mahuman. Asa man natin nami? Naglagalag na pud natin nami. Kaon siya guys. Kalain sa panahon, oy. Madilim sa labas. Candy! Candy ate namin. Namit siya ba kay, ano, malambot siya. Guys, so dali lang ko tanawan ninyo sa gawas. Oh, tanawan ninyo gawas. Oh, kala, ano ba? Dulom. Naga-fogs, oh. Tapos Marigo, oh. Wala pa nahuman si Marigo. Marigo. I open for you. Come here. Guys, wait. Dira lang sa mo.
Dove andiamo oggi qua?
Andiamo. Dove andiamo?
Dove andiamo oggi qua?
Alle 5. Tek Marigo ni oh. Are you gonna switch it on now? Wala pa niya gi-switch on. Marigo, andiamo. Oh, walay kuan oh. Madilim ang kalibutan dito sa amin ngayon. Ay, murende amo. Dugay pa si Marigo mahuman guys, makahurot ko ani og candy karon ba? Aneng! Singgitan si Aneng. Aneng, atiname. Atiname, ingna na si Aneng ba pangasawa na. Kay laagan kaayo. Mag-end na ang world, wala pa asawa ing tawon, wala pa uyab. Neng. Guys, mura kog na gibit-bit nga kwan. Mura kong bata, oh. Kaon tag candy, guys. May pagkaon diri kay wala pa may, di pa ready ang oven, di pa makabili. Ha? For what? Until midday. Madam, na ay naibog anak niya. Oh, na pero na ay sinumar na. Dagan mo na naibog sa iya, pero na ay sinumar. So, midday. matagal-tagal guys, matagal-tagalan pa kasi Marigo daw hanggang 12 o'clock lang dito. What the time na? 11 o'clock? I can go to the supermarket, Prima, no? Nothing. Nothing. Daghan na ibog anak niya, madam, lagi. Daghan na ibog niya na. Ang problema kay nanay mga sinumar ba? Problemado na sa buhay. si aning lang dili. Akong anak Mama Rigos daw. Ha? Dali di oh. Hala, low battery na po di ahak oy. Battery low na po guys. Adto ko lang po sa kusina. Adto ko kusina kay battery low mag-charge ta kay Marigo. Uy, magbabay na ko be. Magbabay na ko be kay battery low na be. Tinami. Na, karong hapon na gid ba? Bye! Yawa, oh. Bye-bye, halong. Salamat, Wak. Ati nami. Salamat sa pagtambay. See you later. Pag abot na ako, kay i-streamyard na to si ati nami. Ang usan ako kanak, Madam Idol niya, Bruno. Ah! Madam, sa hilom. Amping, Madam. Salamat, ati nami. Guwapa. Yan. Ano yung paghilom din na, ha? Tarungan yung kinabuhi ning. Yala. Hoy, di pa ko mauli. Alas 12 pa may mangawa diri. Sa kauras pa ko diri. Ning, streamyard si ano? Streamyard si ate nami. Sige na. Dali. Neng, streamyard bra. Kumasaka ko, Neng. Dali ah. 1 hour pa ko diri. Bye-bye. Marigos is signing off. Bye-bye. Dinamit. Gwapa. Bye-bye. Salamat sa tanan niya nagtambay. Nagpatambay. Di mo switch off. And